good morning, afternoon. Life is an intricate dance of challenges, growth, and discovery. Sometimes the greatest lessons don't come from textbooks or mentors, they emerge from unexpected places. One of those places is storytelling, the kind we find in films, books, or even the lives of others. Today, I want to share with you some truths I've learned from this art of observation, reflection, and listening deeply to the messages within stories. These truths aren't about what to watch, but how to watch with an open heart, a curious mind, and the willingness to be moved, even transformed. Because when we take the time to really see the lessons life offers, whether in a fleeting moment or a cinematic masterpiece, we find more than entertainment, we find the essence of what it means to be human. Let's walk together through 5 key lessons that will not only inspire you, but help you lead a more connected and wholehearted life. Courage comes from vulnerability. When we think of courage, our minds often jump to grand acts, heroes saving lives, speaking out in the face of oppression, or risking it all to achieve greatness. These moments of bravery are extraordinary, no doubt, but they don't tell the whole story. The truth is, courage isn't always loud. It doesn't always wear a cape. More often, courage looks like showing up, being seen, and allowing the world to witness who you truly are, even when it feels terrifying. At the heart of courage lies vulnerability. The two are inseparable. Vulnerability is the willingness to risk being hurt, judged, or misunderstood. It's opening yourself up to uncertainty, emotional exposure, and yes, failure. And here's the paradox: while vulnerability feels like weakness, it's actually our greatest measure of strength. Think about the moments in your life when you felt truly alive, when your heart was racing, your hands were trembling, and you were stepping into the unknown. Maybe it was admitting you were wrong, asking for help, or sharing a part of yourself you've kept hidden. Those moments required you to drop your armor, to let go of control, and to embrace the risk of rejection or failure. Yet those moments also made you stronger. Why? Because vulnerability is where growth happens. It's where connection begins, and it's where courage is born. The challenge is that society doesn't often reward vulnerability. We're taught to put on a brave face, to hide our struggles, and to power through. We're conditioned to believe that vulnerability is a liability, that it's safer to stay guarded and in control. But what we don't realize is that by avoiding vulnerability, we're also avoiding authenticity, joy, and connection. I think about a powerful story you've seen in a film or read in a book. Chances are the characters most embrace imperfection as a teacher. We live in a world that often celebrates perfection, the perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect family, the perfect life. Social media only amplifies this illusion, showing us curated snapshots that make it easy to believe that everyone else has it all together. But the truth is, life is beautifully messy, and imperfection is not something to be hidden or avoided, it's something to be embraced. Imperfection is not the enemy, it's our greatest teacher. It shows us where we need to grow, how to adapt, and what truly matters. When we stop striving for unattainable perfection and start seeing our flaws, mistakes, and struggles as opportunities for growth, life opens up in extraordinary ways. The gift of failure. One of the most profound lessons imperfection teaches is through failure. Failure is uncomfortable, even painful, but it's also one of the most powerful ways to learn. Every stumble and misstep holds a lesson if we're willing to look for it. Consider a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you were rejected from a job, a relationship didn't work out, or you made a mistake that felt monumental. At the time, it might have felt like the end of the world. But looking back, you probably see how those experiences shaped you, taught you resilience, or pushed you in a direction you never would have chosen otherwise. The Japanese art of kintsugi, repairing broken pottery with gold, perfectly illustrates this idea. Instead of discarding a cracked bowl, artisans fill the cracks with gold lacquer, making the piece more beautiful and valuable than it was before. This philosophy reminds us that our flaws and failures are not things to be hidden, but embraced and celebrated as part of our unique story, letting go of the myth of perfect gratitude in the everyday. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase bigger achievements, grand milestones, and lofty goals, it's easy to overlook the power of gratitude for the ordinary moments in life. We often save our thanks for the extraordinary promotion, a celebration, a dream coming true. But true gratitude isn't reserved for these highlights. It's found in the quiet, everyday experiences that make up the fabric of our lives. Gratitude doesn't just transform our perspective, it transforms our lives. When we practice noticing and appreciating the small things, we unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment and joy. And it is a practice, a conscious decision to slow down, pay attention, and cherish what might otherwise go unnoticed. Finding joy in the simple things. Think about the first sip of coffee in the morning, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the sound of a loved one's laughter. These moments are easy to take for granted because they seem so small, so ordinary. But what if we saw them for what they truly are, tiny miracles woven into our daily lives? When we cultivate gratitude for the simple things, we begin to shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect. Rather, it's about balancing the hard moments by remembering that even on the toughest days, there are still things to be thankful for. The science of gratitude. Research shows that gratitude has profound effects on our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. Studies have found that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress and depression, better sleep, and stronger relationships. Gratitude rewires the brain, training us to focus on positivity and abundance rather than scarcity and dissatisfaction. One powerful way to practice gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. Hope is a practice, not a feeling. When we think of hope, we often imagine it as a fleeting emotion, something that appears in moments of optimism or when things are looking up. But true hope is much more than that. Hope is not something that simply happens to us. It is something we actively cultivate. It's not a feeling that comes and goes. It's a practice, a deliberate choice to believe in the possibility of better days, even when the present feels overwhelming. What hope really is. Hope is often misunderstood. It's not blind positivity or wishful thinking. It's not ignoring the hardships of life or pretending everything is okay. True hope is grounded in reality. It acknowledges the pain and struggle while still believing in the potential for change. It's the quiet, steady voice that says, this isn't the end of the story. Hope is what keeps us moving forward when the road ahead feels uncertain. It's what allows us to imagine a brighter future, even when today feels dark. And most importantly, hope isn't passive, it requires action. It's a practice of showing up again and again, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. The practice of hope. So how do we practice hope? It begins with small, intentional steps. Set goals, no matter how small. Hope thrives on purpose. Even the smallest goals, like getting out of bed on a tough day or taking one step toward a long-term dream, give us something to work toward. These goals remind us that connection is the heart of meaning. At the core of human existence lies one undeniable truth: we are wired for connection. No matter our background, culture, or personal story, the need to feel understood, valued, and seen is universal. Connection isn't just a nice to have. It's essential. It's the foundation of a meaningful life, shaping who we are and how we navigate the world. Yet in today's fast-paced, often digital world, genuine connection can feel harder to come by. We're more connected than ever through social media, emails, and text messages, but many of us feel lonelier and more isolated. Why? Because true connection isn't about proximity or technology. It's about presence, vulnerability, and the courage to be authentic. It's the power of genuine relationships. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most at peace, or most fulfilled. Chances are those moments involved other people. Whether it's the warmth of a loved one's embrace, a deep conversation with a friend, or the unspoken bond of shared experiences, connection is what gives those moments meaning. Genuine relationships require more than surface level interactions. They demand time, effort, and the willingness to show up as our true selves, imperfections and all. When we let down our walls and allow others to see us fully, we create spaces where love, trust, and belonging can flourish. The role of vulnerability and connection. Connection thrives in vulnerability. It's not always comfortable. It requires us to risk closing the speech. In the end, the lessons we learn, whether through life's challenges, the stories we embrace, or the connections we cultivate, all point to one truth: we are here to grow, to love, and to make meaning of our shared journey. Life isn't about perfection or having it all figured out. It's about showing up, embracing the messiness, and being courageous enough to live with an open heart. It's about finding gratitude in the smallest of moments, practicing hope when it feels hardest, and remembering that we're never truly alone, because connection is what ties us all together. So as you leave here today, I challenge you to carry these lessons forward. Look for the beauty in imperfection, the power in vulnerability, the joy in everyday moments, and the hope in uncertain times. And most importantly, nurture the connections in your life, the ones that make you feel seen, valued, and loved. Because at the heart of a meaningful life is not what we accomplish or accumulate, but how deeply we connect with ourselves, with others, and with the world around us. Thank you.